Hey guys, what's up? The Kindle Fire HD tablets were released today, and we have our hands on a 7-inch right here. And I thought, what better to do than compare it to the iPad 3rd generation? So let's get started. So the first thing we'll look at is design, and right now we have the Kindle Fire HD right here. As you can see, 7-inch display. The Kindle Fire comes in 8.7 inch for an additional $100, but this is a 7-inch right here. You have your front-facing camera. If you go to the side, you have your two ports that you can use to connect to a computer and whatnot. And then going onto the other side, you have your headphone jack, up, down, volume, and then your sleep and awake button right there. And now flipping to the back, you can see that there's two speakers. That's a nice feature to have speakers on both sides. And then you can see this finish, sort of matte finish on the back. So now we'll move on to the iPad. So here we have the iPad 3rd generation, and you can see up there you have your front-facing camera, you have your physical home button, your 9.7 inch display, and as we tilt it to the side, you can see the volume rocker and mute switch are right here. Something to note is they sort of stick out a little nicer than the Kindle Fire, and they're easier to press. And moving up to the top, you have your sleep and awake button right here, and then you have your headphone jack. Now flipping to the back, you can see that the back is fully metal. You have your dock connector right here on the bottom, and then your speaker grill only on one side of the device. Not too much of a deal, but it would be nice if they had it on both sides. Now the next topic we're going to be going over is the interface. You can see here we have the Kindle Fire HD, and you have the swipe to unlock, pretty much similar to the iPad. Now your interface is very skinned by Amazon. You can see you have your recently viewed stuff right in the middle that you can swipe back and forth. You have recommendations and trending stuff at the bottom, which you can't really control to as far as I know. And then you have your sort of menu on the top where you can choose what you want to do. You see we can open the App Store or the apps page right here, and you can go to the store with this button right here. And this is just a small look at the store. You can see everything loads pretty fine. There's some lag in transitioning, but it's really not too bad. However, I think the iPad is a little smoother. So that's pretty much the interface for the Fire, and now we'll move on to the iPad. So here we have the iPad. You have the slide to unlock, similar to the other device, and the major difference is it's very simple. Just shows you all the applications you have. You can hold and move them, as pretty much everyone knows, and you have your dock down here, which shows on every page, and very simple. Not a lot of clutter, however, not a lot of options to add widgets. You can't do anything like that. Now, moving between apps is very smooth. Pretty much the number one thing I like about Apple products is they're generally extremely smooth. You'll have no lag in the interface unless it's loading something. And that's pretty much the interface for the iPad. So the next topic we have is content. Now the Kindle is obviously developed and produced by Amazon, so it will have all of the content seen on Amazon.com. Now this goes for books, everything the Kindle has, this will have, as it is a Kindle, of course. It will have the Prime videos that you can watch and movies and such. It will have music, and as for the App Store, it will have its own private Amazon App Store. One problem with this is it doesn't include very many apps. There's only like tens of thousands in the lower numbers for that, and you won't find apps for a lot of things that you wish you could have. So that's a major downside to the Kindle. However, the other content is as good as or better than Apple's. As for content on the iPad, you have the App Store, which will have hundreds of thousands of apps specifically designed for the iPad, and many more which are designed for the iPhone that can run fine on this device. Pretty much a huge library, more than you could ever need, and a really plus side of this device. Now when it comes to other content like videos, etc. Apple does have a huge selection. However, you can save some money using Prime on Amazon. So ultimately, the App Store is a huge plus for the iPad. Now the next thing I wanted to talk about is the displays. Apple's iPad has the Retina display technology developed by Apple, and the Kindle Fire has an HD screen. Now looking over these two for a good hour or so, you can definitely tell that the screen on the Kindle Fire is not as good as the iPad, and you can see smaller, you can see sort of pixels. It's kind of hard to explain and you can't really see it well on the camera, but I would give the display to the iPad because I think it looks a little bit nicer. Anyways, I have two versions of Temple Run if you can see any difference in the video. And while we're still on this, I want to show you how both of them process. As noted, the 8.7-inch Kindle Fire will have a better processor. However, both seem to do pretty much fine when running minimal games like Temple Run. So, if we hit play, see, it's kind of hard to play a two version, sort of a new game. We see I fell right there, and I'll fall soon on this device. But they both run really smoothly. Sometimes I note some lag on the Fire HD, but that's only when it's going around the interface, and it seems to be pretty much perfect when it's running applications. Now, important thing about a tablet is browsing the internet. I have Safari and the browser open on these two devices, and I'm going to be showing you how they render pages and which one is faster. So we have jailbreaknation.com typed in both, and we're going to hit go at the same time and see what happens. These are both connected to the same Wi-Fi internet. So, ready, set, go. So you can see they're both loading the page. The iPad is loading a little bit faster, but the Kindle Fire sort of caught up. So pretty much they have similar load time. They're still loading. iPad's done, Kindle's done. Pretty much they load at the same time, and that's really impressive. It could possibly be due to the antenna technology on the Kindle or the higher processor on the iPad. So something to note, they're both pretty decent at loading web pages. You can see both go into another page right there, and you can see the iPad was a little faster on that one, but the Kindle Fire soon caught up. So just a quick look at that, and also note that the bigger Kindle Fire will have a faster processor. So I quickly wanted to talk about the data plans for the two devices. So first we have the Kindle Fire. You're going to need to get the $500 8.7-inch display model if you want 4G capabilities. Now the service will cost you $50 per year, and that will get you 250 megabytes a month. And that's a pretty sweet deal, definitely unparalleled on any other device today. Now, looking at the iPad, you're going to need the more expensive cellular model of the iPad, and that'll cost you a few $100s more. And you can get service for $15 a month, which will get you 250 megabytes, so pretty much $15 a month versus $50 a year, and 4G, so definitely this goes to the Kindle. Now I quickly wanted to end this with some downsides of both devices. You can see we have the iPad right here. Pretty much the major downside is it costs a lot more, starting at $500 and going up from there. And secondly, you don't get as many variations as you do with the Kindle. It only comes in one size, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so here we have the Kindle. My two major complaints are, one, the advertising. As you can see on your home or your lock screen, every time you turn it on, you'll get advertisements, and even on your home screen, you can see it will have like recommendations and stuff everywhere trying to get you to purchase as much content. Now, I believe you can opt out for $15, but that's the $15 you have to consider, especially if you're going to buy a cheaper device and you're thinking about the money. Now this only starts at $200, so it's a lot more affordable. And the second complaint I have really is that the design is pretty much locked down by Amazon. You have less customization than you would if you just had regular Android, and pretty much you're stuck with this look. So We hope you liked this comparison and gave you some insight into both devices. Obviously, they are quite different and feature their ups and downs. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like if you like this video, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys later.